I'm sitting on the couch. I'm watching WCW World War III, 1995, 60-man over-the-top rope battle royal with 3 rings, relaxing, enjoying a nice day, and then Nate the Hate decides to make me have to work again because he drops this tweet out of nowhere that is just perplexing to me. And I know we talk a lot about Xbox on this channel, and a lot of people sometimes disagree with my opinion on Xbox and kind of how they're doing things. And look, that's fine. I understand that sometimes my takes can be kind of rooted in a more old school mentality, but I think we can all agree on one thing, is that Xbox needs to clearly identify what their identity is, because as it stands right now, are they a company that is interested only in Game Pass? Are they a company that's interested in hardware sales? Are they a third party company? Are they a software developer? Like, what sort of traditional role are we looking for here with Xbox? Now, I think Xbox has had an okay 2024 thus far, and they have one of the games that I'm looking forward to the absolute most still coming out in 2024. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I have been very high on this game because I felt like this was a game that could potentially help them. Unlike what Phil Spencer says, that great games don't sell systems, that is just factually incorrect. There's a reason why Nintendo systems sell, because they make great Mario and Zelda games. There's a reason why PlayStation systems sell, because they make great games from their various franchises such as Spider-Man and God of War. But with Xbox, it's definitely been a much more rockier road. We've seen Xbox bringing over games from their platforms to other platforms. Supposedly it was just going to be 4, and then we were done with it, but then there might be more. There's supposedly something happening at Gamescom this week, and I don't even know if this is related to the Gamescom announcement, but holy Christ on a cracker. Here we freaking go. Nate the Hate. Machine Games, Indiana Jones, and the Great Circle will release on Xbox and PC this holiday. He's looking at it as a December release, as a timed console exclusive. After this timed exclusive window expires, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is planned to come to PlayStation 5 in the first half of 2025. Now, yes, this is still, I guess, just a rumor, but Nate's not going to put this out there if he doesn't have some insight into it, if he doesn't have some knowledge to it to the degree where he could say this confidently. Now, we're expecting Xbox to talk about something coming to PlayStation 5 from their first-party library during Gamescom this week. I don't know if this is what the announcement is going to be, but this isn't, oh my God, this is insane to me. And I kind of want to break down why, because a lot of people feel like maybe I don't understand Xbox's vision, but that's because I don't think anyone understands Xbox's vision, because I don't think they have a vision. They're just throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks, and if something happens to stick and they're successful from it, then they are happy. This being a timed exclusive, I will go out on a limb here and say it almost kind of makes sense, because this is a Disney property, okay? And we all know that Disney properties cost quite a bit of money. When you looked at the financial leaks about something like Spider-Man, how much Sony was having to fork over to Marvel Disney essentially for this sort of game just to have this property, it cost a lot of money. Now, since PlayStation systems tend to sell well, it wasn't that big of a deal because the games were very successful. But we all know that this is a Game Pass game. This is using a Disney property. So I think if this game came out a year and a half later on the PlayStation 5, okay, what's the big deal? You still got your Xbox fans happy. You still gave them what they needed, and they still felt like, they had a quality title that was just for them to experience on the system that they bought. Because not everyone has both of these systems. Not everyone can get an Xbox and a PlayStation 5. They have to choose. And when you're choosing a system, why do you choose that system? Yes, there are other factors that go into it, but it's the first-party games. But if we're talking about the first half of 2025, this would mean that this is a 6-month exclusive. 6 months. And I know what you're saying. Well, that's 6 months. Xbox gamers get it first, and I agree with you on that. But you have to remember what this is. This is a AAA game in 2024. You honestly think that there's not going to be potentially bugs, glitches, and issues on day one with this game like there is with pretty much every sort of AAA game, it's almost like Xbox users are going to be somewhat beta testers for this. And then the game releases on PlayStation 5 once they've, figured out all the kinks and, ironed out all the issues. And then here's the PlayStation 5 version, the definitive version of the game. Like, I just feel like a 6-month window is not enough. I really don't. It should be at least a year. It should be at least a year because you want to sell these, right? You keep making these. You keep talking about your next console generation, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know. It's just so bizarre to me. It's so bizarre. And yes, Game Pass owners do get the benefit of playing this game via Game Pass, whereas PlayStation 5 owners will have to purchase the game. Okay, Microsoft will make some money on those purchases, obviously. So from a financial standpoint, it kind of does make a bit of sense because revenue is always good. You always want to make money. But this isn't a smaller title. This isn't a community-driven title. This is a single-player experience, something that can help you move systems because great games do move hardware. You want to play this game on a console, you don't want to mess with a PC, well, you better buy an Xbox. And then people are like, well, maybe I need an Xbox this holiday season because I really want to play Indiana Jones. I think it looks really cool, and I'm a fan of the source material. This is like if God of War Ragnarok came out a couple months later on Xbox. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what Microsoft is doing here. I really don't. And since this is coming from Nate, you kind of got to believe it. Is this the announcement for Gamescom, or are you going to do something else too? You're going to throw Forza out there? Forza Horizon 5? Hey, PlayStation owners, here's Forza Horizon 5. And here's Indiana Jones for your PlayStation 5. But, buy our system too. We want people to buy our system too. You better buy our system, even though we stopped giving you a chance. And I know it's not the retro age anymore with shit like this. But think about if Sega and Super Nintendo, if Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo were doing this shit, what would be the point in buying one over the other? I don't get it. I don't get it. And maybe I'm out of touch on this topic. Maybe my views are outdated. And if that's the case, that's fine, man. I'm looking at it from a consumer perspective as a consumer. I'm under the impression that most of you people watching either own a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series. The only reason I own 2 of these is because I do this full time. So I have to be able to cover everything on every system. But honestly, I think if I didn't do this full time, would I have the Xbox? Or would I have just went with the PlayStation 5? Especially considering that Xbox doesn't really seem to be giving me many reasons to pick up an Xbox if they're bringing stuff, major titles, 6 months later to the PlayStation 5. These are just my thoughts, though. I just wanted to throw this out there. What do you think about it, though? Is this the move to make? Because evidently Phil Spencer thinks it is. How that son of a bitch still has a job, I will never know. Anyways, guys, like I said, there are various factors going into it. There's the business aspect, the licensing fees and stuff like that. But just for me, man, it feels very disrespectful for Xbox owners and only Xbox owners. If 6 months later, this game is going to come to another platform and you had so much backlog, remember? Your backlog was so big that you had to push Avowed. Even though Dragon Age doesn't look all that great, but you had to push Avowed for the backlog. But you're not even factoring in that most of those games are also coming to PlayStation. So PlayStation owners can then play their backlog of stuff and then play Indiana Jones 6 months later. Give me your thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Later.